A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
It's officially crunch time, and a lot of things are going to go crunch here tonight. It is yet another appearance of trucks at Talladega. It is the feared combination tonight, round number 14 of the 9th season of the Venom Truck Series. The Golden Eagle Syrup 200, the pride of Alabama, on display here at the 2.66 mile Super Speedway. Welcome in to Turn 200's coverage of the Venom Truck Series. We got the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, alongside myself, Tommy Cook. Matt, it doesn't really need an introduction. This is the 12th time that we're coming to Talladega on Turn 200. You were just here Thursday night with Max V as well. I mean, it's fresh in the mind, the chaos and carnage that lays ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean, Max V was here on Thursday. The NASCAR circuit was here all weekend. And then we get to grace it here on Tuesday here as well for the Venom Truck Series. So I think everybody is very familiar with Talladega here at this point. And yeah, I mean, it's the place that anybody can win, but anybody can also lose a lot of points on the board. So it's kind of the great equalizer, and you need some things to kind of break your way. But takes a lot of skill as well. It's an underrated skill track, in my opinion.
Certainly is, and it takes drivers with a good skill set. And of course, you're one of those drivers, considering that you won here last Friday night in an Indy car of all things. Don't think that I didn't know that. But yes, points are definitely on the mind here tonight. What do the points look like for the drivers of the Venom Truck Series? As things have been very tight all season, they're a little bit less tight, though, and the picture may be a little bit clearer.
Yeah, if you take a look at the points, there's something new after last week, and that is the fact that Matt Schlosser, his name is in green. You know what that means? That means he is locked into the playoffs already. So Matt Schlosser is locked into the playoffs here at this point. Of course, a lot of these other drivers, they are well on their way to doing the same. Chad Stern sits there in second. Although he has missed a race here, so he is actually quite a bit further behind Schlosser than he was just a couple of weeks ago. So, but still in second, John Kay in third, Luke Peterson, Hayden Palumbo are in fourth and fifth, Andy Poliski, Josh Matacek, Josh Freed, and Zach Lockett are your top 9, and then Brody Gunter has finally made his way into the top 10, into a playoff position here. At least for the moment, but I mean, we just talked about it. The great equalizer of Talladega. Anything can happen. Anything can go wrong here. So Gunter is going to have some luck and going to have to keep his I's dotted and his T's crossed here tonight to keep that spot. Tyler Logan, Brantley Gainey, Jan Van Leer, Jeremy McKinnon, Kyle Zittel, all on the outside looking in here at the moment. But there's a lot of those drivers, pretty much any of those drivers that are very, very capable of winning this race. So if there's one race that they wanted to see come up next on the schedule, this might be the one. Also to note, if you leave tonight 54 points above the cut line, you are automatically going to be locked in to the playoffs. So Stearns, Kay, Peterson, Palumbo, they are there right now. Poliski would be the next up if he can have a great night here tonight. But we'll have to see how things shake out.
Yeah, some drivers definitely not very comfortable coming into tonight. Really, Brody Gunter, not very comfortable, and Tyler Logan, all the way down to the 21 drivers that mathematically still have a shot, of course, not counting Matt Schlosser because he is in no matter what. But all the way down to Steve Roman in 21st. He is exactly on the number coming into tonight in terms of having a mathematical path forward. You can kind of weed out a couple of those drivers. Unfortunately, Steve probably doesn't have a realistic shot to get in, even if he were to win tonight. But that's not going to stop him from trying. He certainly is capable of doing that. But these drivers on the outside looking in, needing a good night here tonight. Good nights are hard to come by at Talladega, unless your name is Cole Maxwell. And he had himself a very good night here back in season number 8, not that long ago. As it's the return of the Matt Williamson special on the track here tonight as well. Your defending race winner, Joshua Matacek, is running the Yamaha yellow, and it's a great look out here on Talladega. Matacek needs himself a solid night. We'll hope that he gets it, as it is time to go racing here with the Venom Truck Series at Talladega. It is pole number 9, is 5th of the season. Brody Gunter is racking and stacking your top starting positions. So he will lead the field of green here at Talladega. Leo Smith, what a qualifying effort for our Aussie friend who is back in the starting lineup here tonight. He finished 12th here last season, not too shabby. He'll have a teammate in close proximity to him. Brantley Gainey needs a big night. He knows how to do them at the super speedways. He'll start in third. Paul Ellison has a runner-up finish here at Talladega. He would love to go one better tonight at the home track. Cole Maxwell, we just mentioned it, finished 4th here last season. He'll start in 5th next to Austin Holyfield, who needs a big swing to get himself into the conversation for the chase. Jeremy McKinnon, a 2-time Venom Truck Series winner. He's the only multi-time Super Speedway winner at a track. He will start in 7th next to Hayden Palumbo, who will start in the 8th position. Zach Lockett starts in 9th. He finished on the podium last week, 2 spots ahead of him. In the finishing order last week was Matt Schlosser, who will line up in the 10th position, already in the chase in 2 weeks' time. Eric Breeding also has a runner-up finish here. He'll start in 11th with Kyle Zittel starting to his outside. Zittel only one top 5 at Talladega. It's not been quite as kind to him as Daytona has. Jan Van Leer will start in 13th next to Kevin Sargent, who has a podium finish here. It will be Garrett Rainey then, your sponsored driver of the evening, and the home trackers starting P15 with Rodney Matney to his outside. It is Joshua Monachek and Jordan Journeau on row number 9. Andy Poliski, a former winner here with the Venom Truck Series, starting in 19th. Paul Sargent to his outside in 20th. Steve Roman has a Truck 200 victory here. He'll start in 21st next to Brian Mitchell. It will be John Kay way back there in P23. Just needs a solid night tonight to cinch up a chase spot. Luke Peterson, likewise. He will start in 24th. Gary Clark, Pascal Samard on row number 13. Chad Stearns and Tyler Bergert on the back row. Hunter Leach was going to be here tonight, but he's got a date with Jill. But we've got 28 other drivers who did decide to give it a go here tonight at Talladega. And Matt Williamson, what do these fine folks have to expect out of 200 miles here tonight?
Yep, 200 miles means 75 laps here around Talladega. So it seems like that's kind of a lot for a 2.66 mile track, but that is going to fly by. So drivers will be looking to make their moves here early on. No fast repairs. That's the biggie here at Talladega. Gotta keep the truck clean so you have a shot there at the end. We average 3 cautions per race here at Talladega. Our least amount of cautions ever in the Venom Truck Series here is 2, so maybe we can do one better here tonight. Past winners here in the Venom Truck Series at Talladega: Andy Poliski. Jeremy McKinnon has won here twice. Ryan Dye, who is not here, but Josh Monachek is. Nathan Reynolds not here either. He is a past winner as well. So I think betting odds would probably be in Jeremy McKinnon's favor here at the moment.
You look at the drivers with the best average driver rating of those that are in the field here tonight and that have competed at all this season. At the super speedways, Jeremy McKinnon is at the top of that board. Some surprising names below him. Maybe we'll get to them throughout the evening here. But it's Brody Gunter and Leo Smith. We're racing at Talladega. We saw this a lot Thursday night. Big checkups there on that inside line on the initial start. But unlike Thursday night, we're still green into turn number 1. Gunter, all that is happening. He has lost his help. Leo Smith, with help from Paul Ellison, might get clear around the outside.
I think it's a given he'll be clear. It's a matter of whether he takes it or not. He was clear there for a moment. Now some momentum coming back on the inside here.
All that energy being sent back to the front of the line. Brantley Gainey pushing Brody Gunter clear. These two have had a couple of run-ins the last few weeks, but that's not going to stop them from working together here at Talladega. Now more energy being built up on this top side. Leo Smith making a charge back to the front, but lap number 1 is going to go to Brody Gunter off the pole.
We've seen some movers from top to bottom here already. Matt Schlosser in 10th took a dive down to the bottom. Some other drivers electing to take the top as the top side thinned out there for a moment. So drivers trying to either hook up with teammates here or just maybe get with some folks that they're more comfortable with. Maybe they feel like this outside line might start rolling here before too long. Sometimes we do see where if you get a good group there on the outside, you can just kind of push that front truck out front, let them dive down, and then you push the next truck up front and he can dive down. We have seen that before. You just play a little leapfrog there. So we'll see. Have to see how things roll along here. But Smith and Gunter still pretty much even here at the front of the field.
Lots of special paint schemes in the field tonight, but not for your front 4. They're all running the primaries, and Leo Smith across the line will lead his first lap in the Venom Truck Series. He's had to be out of action for the last few weeks. Had one race where he came up and joined us in the booth. That was an absolute delight. He's racing upside down, so top of the morning to driver 57 here on the outside of the top line. Unlike what we saw on Sunday, these drivers not too keen to go more than 2 wide here early in the going. It's a pretty mindful bunch thus far.
Tommy, you mentioned a couple of special paint schemes here throughout the field. Looks like 69 of Cole Maxwell, he's got one. Austin Holyfield in the 10, he's got a nice looking light side, dark side Star Wars paint going on. And I actually went to the theaters and saw Revenge of the Sith for the 20th anniversary. So that was pretty cool to see that in the theaters. I did not get that pleasure when it came out. I was only 9 years old, so that was pretty cool.
I think the paint scheme for Cole Maxwell is Kyle Larson's Hard Caviar, if I'm not mistaken. And he's run that sponsorship a couple of different times.
Whoa, Gunter!
Brody Gunter is gone.
Yeah,
kind of.
He's just kind of doing the right thing. Although he's going to come into the apron with speed, which he never want to do, but he's able to keep it down there. But he was blinking. He was blinking a lot. He's going to pull down and move to the back of the field. So that's just him giving some good juju to the drivers up there in the front. Doesn't want to cause anything, and it's early yet, so he can hopefully get the internet thing sorted out and make his way back to the front at some point tonight.
Gunter's kryptonite on super speedway racing has been pit road entry. He's been tagged a couple of times. He's been the spinner a couple of times, as Leo Smith is. If that were anybody else other than Brantley Gainey, he probably would have got shuffled out there. But Gainey, a teammate to Leo Smith, and also another teammate behind them. But unfortunately, that little miscue is going to cost them the positioning here on the inside. As now it is Paul Ellison who will drop down as the race leader. He wants the bottom. And that gives the top side now to Austin Holyfield with help from Ellison's teammate, Hayden Palumbo. And Palumbo has help from a teammate as well. It is 53, 55, 54 at the front of the field with Kyle Zittel there in the mix as well. And an ICR teammate to the outside of the ICR bunch as well. So a lot of drivers close to their friends, but not quite in a position to take advantage of that.
Where are the Colemans at? Austin Holyfield's about to lead a lap, boys.
It's been a great season for Austin Holyfield. He's been just off the points graphic for the majority of the season, running 16th to 18th in the points, multiple top 10s. Been a great season for Austin Holyfield, and now he could say he's led a lap here at Talladega.
And he's going to drop down to the bottom. That will allow Palumbo and Kyle Zittel, two teammates, to lead the top side here, and Palumbo is clear. Trying to get both of them clear so they can both drop down, I'm sure. And there goes one Zittel. Wow, that was...
It was a little tight.
It was tight for sure. Holyfield just had a big run as Zittel was coming down. So Holyfield may have had to get out of the throttle there for a moment. But we have survived thus far.
I mentioned earlier as Peterson and... who is that in front of Luke Peterson there?
That was Paul Sargent.
Paul Sargent in a new paint scheme. I've not seen him not in the yellow. Oh, he's still running the Hooters throwback truck from last week. But I mentioned earlier the five active drivers who have the best super speedway driver rating. I mentioned Jeremy McKinnon has the best. Can you guess the other four? I think some of them may surprise you.
I mean, I feel like we're talking about how many seasons does this go? Are we talking about
all of them?
All seasons.
Yep.
I feel like Jan's got to be up there.
He is not.
He's not. ICR has always been pretty strong. I'm going to go with Brantley Gainey, another ICR driver then.
He is also not. He's a super speedway winner.
That is surprising. Are any ICR drivers on the list?
They are not.
Wow, that shocks me, to be honest. They usually get together pretty well. Go ahead and tell us the list, because I'm out of answers now.
Well, Jeremy is first. Rodney Matney is second.
Wow.
Steve Roman is third. Andy Poliski fourth. And Joshua Freed is fifth. Now, Freed with considerably less starts than those other 4. And technically, Greg Bradshaw's in there as well, but he's only made 1 start.
I mean, it makes sense. A broke guy always works well together. So, I mean, for McKinnon, Vroman, and Poliski to all 3 of them be there, I guess that's not crazy out of the question.
Certainly not. They've got the results to show for it.
Well, they are
than
certainly
Daytona.
I was gonna mention they are certainly looking for redemption here tonight. That's kind of a story that seems like it was very long ago at this point. But I mean, there is certainly super speedway redemption to be had for Broke Guy Racing here tonight. So I would look for all of them to be quite aggressive as well. Because they certainly had a great opportunity at a win at Daytona, and unfortunately that did not come to fruition, kind of to their own doing. So they are looking to right the ship here tonight.
We talk about the team dynamics. Broke Guy is at the back. Jeremy McKinnon is in 20th, and Poliski and Vroman are the final 2 in the running order right now, 27th and 28th. Of course, the Alabama gang and the Superkick stable are in control of this race right now. And don't forget ICR. Powerhouse is in their own right. Jan Van Leer is going to challenge for the lead here in just a moment. But they've also had an alliance the last couple of seasons, the last few super speedway races, with the Pony Express gang, which is Joshua Matichek, Tyler Logan, who, come to think of it, I don't think Tyler Logan is even here tonight. So that might help shore up some chase positions, or give some opportunity to some drivers further down the running order. But still, you got Joshua Matichek and Austin Holyfield that may or may not be working with the ICR crew here tonight, and that just helps anytime you've got the numbers. You're going to go a long way into ensuring your own success.
So, speaking of teammates, McKinnon is dropping back to join his team. They are going to join up at the back of the field. They're all on the high side right now. I need to talk about pit strategy here. We think they can make it at least 27 laps, if not maybe 28. I don't think they can make it a whole lot further than that on fuel. So, I mean, if you back 27 out a couple of times, that leaves you to lap 21 that you would be able to make that first pit stop. So, we've talked about it on the channel many times here as of the last couple of years. Sometimes teams will get together and come down pit road as early as possible to separate themselves from the rest of the field, get a nice clean pit stop in, and then use their limited but good working together numbers to form a straight line and try and put some time on the field. So maybe that team is looking to work together, come to pit road maybe a little bit earlier here.
And some of these folks out there may be saying, well, we're not going to have green flag pit stops. Don't even need to worry about it. We only averaged 3 cautions here across 200 miles. That is not very many cautions. The Daytona race to open up this season went caution-free, green to checkered. So green flag pit stops very much on the itinerary. Hello to the Maticheks. Joshua right now just hanging outside of the top 15. Everybody up in this front group is given plenty of space. Hello to Rob Williams as well, hanging out with us here tonight. And hello to anybody else that may be hanging out with us for the Golden Eagle Syrup 200 from Talladega, just 2 races away from setting the chase field. This inside line is stacking up a little bit. Gary Clark just gave a big shot there to Joshua Matichek. It's so hard to judge when you're in the longer line of the two, where the energy is going to go, and when you need to kind of let off, and how quickly you need to let off.
Well, I was hoping that we would get some cameras here tonight. We have a few folks that are running them, but unfortunately they're not working at the moment, which I've actually never had happen before since we've gotten them kind of fixed for our new our new overlays. So we'll try and figure that out here throughout the evening. Not quite sure what's causing that one, though, so hopefully we'll get those at some point for you. But shout out to Josh Matichek, as always, Luke Peterson, John K., Kyle Zittel for attempting to run cameras for us here. We'll see if we can get him going. I was looking forward to see if Matacek had maybe a motocross helmet on since he's running the Yamaha paint scheme tonight. But something tells me that's probably not the case.
And speaking of John Kay, hello to Allie Hill, who I believe had a birthday yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So happy birthday to Allie. And it's race week for John Kay. As it was some shuffling there on the top side as one Sargent drops down. Actually, that was not Kevin Sargent, but either way, Paul Sargent with a little bit of crossing up there with Luke Peterson on the top side.
Yeah, the Sargents are now looking to get together as
yes,
the
they are.
49 is pulling up to the back of the 09, and Luke Peterson is there to give some help as well. So the cavalry's coming for Jan Van Leer. They got separated there a little bit, but he's hoping for a big run down the backstretch, and they're getting it.
This is what we love really about super speedway racing is some of these guys that don't get very much coverage through the year, other than maybe getting caught up in accidents, we get to talk about them. Paul Sargent up at the front of this field, Kevin Sargent, he's really always one, Kevin in particular, to pick up on good super speedway finishes, really thrives in the chaos more often than not, as a top 5 in a podium in super speedway competition. He says, according to his Venom Cast interview a couple weeks ago with John Kay, it is not if, but when he picks up his first victory in the Venom Truck Series. No reason why that couldn't be tonight. But for now, Luke Peterson going to shuffle out Papa Paul, and we'll see what Kevin does in turn as Paul Sargent going to start to go backwards here with no help behind. Oh, big checkup, and Rodney Matney's going to go around. Matney into the inside wall. Caution is out. Again, that inside line checked up, and I think it was Gary Clark that got into the back of the 83 of Matney. Either that or Clark was the driver in front of Matney. But either way, Rodney with a big shot to the inside wall there, and he is going to tow back to the pits. We are not going caution-free here tonight.
Well, this is going to shake things up pit stop-wise. We are going to start to see some major fuel save strategy going on here because we are, I think, right on the cusp of being able to make it with one more stop after this, but it will be tight.
We just mentioned how Rodney Matney has the second best driver's rating in super speedway racing. That stat is going to take a bit of a hit here tonight. The previous winner of the season opening Daytona race. I'm completely blanking on it right now. The Rocket Man Memorial. Holy cow. But either way, this is a big shot here for Matney.
Yeah, and you mentioned Gary Clark. He was actually the truck in front of Matney that was slowing down with the rest of that inside line that Matney was trying to stay out of.
Yeah, it's just so hard to judge when you need to really pull the reins back.
So that inside line's checking up. Pascal Simard pretty close to the bumper of the 83 as you would be here at a super speedway race. And they check up, and Simard just does not quite get the memo in time. And unfortunately for Matney, he absolutely slams that inside wall. That is likely... Well, he won't be competitive. We'll just put it that way.
He has left the server, so his night is over regardless.
We may run it back here for a moment and look at what Pascal was seeing out of the front of this truck. Listen to some inputs here. If you watch the needle, he's already lifting a little bit here. Oh, yeah, that was quick. I mean, it's not like he was fully hammered down. He had kind of lifted a little, which you would normally do down the backstretch. And, yeah, it just happened too quick.
What I thought was interesting in that as well, it's a technique that you and I employ a lot when we're on the bottom. Dipping those tires below that yellow line to see what is happening ahead of you. And as soon as he pulls right back into line with Rodney Matney, he loses vision, and that is exactly when the checkup happens. So that was not good circumstances for Simard or for Rodney Matney to be thrown into.
Yeah,
it
I mean,
is. Go ahead.
Part of what I was seeing as well is that inside line towards the front, they were actually moving up to the middle of the racetrack, kind of crowding the top lane. So, I mean, when Pascal goes down more towards the bottom to try and see what's happening, he's not really seeing anything because those trucks up towards the front are actually moving up towards the middle. So, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things happening there that caused that.
So it is the Alabama Gang and Super Kick Revival stable that control 4 of the top 5 positions as they run. And they've got 2 more in the wings in the top 10. So 60% of your top 10 runners belong to the same team. Palumbo leading, Zittel in second, Ellison in third, Peterson in fifth, John Kay in 8th, and Brody Gunter in 10th. The other drivers in the top 10, Jordan Journeau in 4th, Kevin Sargent in 6th, Austin Holyfield in 7th, and Jan Van Leer in 9th. So ICR kind of gets shuffled to the mid-pack here after being one of the 2 dominant teams early in the going. And now it'll be the Alabama Gang who will try to shine through in our first super speedway caution of the season. Coming to a restart here on lap 20. I want to highlight a driver that you spent the last couple of Thursday nights with, Joshua Matichek. He's the defending Talladega race winner. He'll be restarting back on row number 10. But you've spent the last couple of Thursday nights with him, including a super speedway race. What sort of insight have you gained on Joshua sharing the booth with him the last couple of weeks?
I mean, what I have gained is I think him being able to do the broadcast on Thursdays has helped him see these races from a different perspective. Yeah, it's a different field. The setups are not quite the same sometimes. The race lengths are not quite the same, but there's just a different perspective you gain from being up here in the booth. You get to see more strategies in real time that you don't get to see when you're only thinking about your own strategy and what you already know in your head and trying to figure out what you're going to do during a race. So I think being able to see multiple strategies employed all at the same time when you're up here in the broadcast booth, it opens your mind to more options, and I think it just makes you a more well-rounded thinker of how you're going to go about a race. I think that is something that has helped him and will continue to help him as he continues to broadcast on Thursdays. But also just the fact that he comes in here, he has a lot of talent and a lot of speed, but he doesn't have a ton of experience on iRacing either. So I think it's only room to grow there for Josh Matichek.
Well, he is doing exactly what he did last season, really coming alive towards the end of the regular season. The better news for him is that he's in a better position to take advantage of that. He's in a chase position right now. He will have to make sure that he's in a chase position when it's all said and done here tonight. Hayden Palumbo leads the field back to green. He's got options to choose from in terms of some teammates. Around him, Ellison backing up this inside line, and they really get stacked up there. Leo Smith going down. Big checkups there. That was well handled by Zach Lockett and Leo Smith. Matt Schlosser in that mix-up as well. And we'll continue to race on.
That was that could have been really, really bad, and everybody was able to give each other some room to settle it out. You don't always see that in these sorts of races. So good on the drivers for looking out for each other there, making sure not only do they stay clean, but their competitors stay clean. They're able to continue forward here.
Well, that breaks up the top line. We'll see who tries to fill the void. Right now, and it's a misnumbered truck, but this is Jordan Journeau on the top side. He's got help from Chad Stearns. Garrett Clark is in this mix. Brantley Gainey, Jan Van Leer. So ICR is starting to fill in this top side just a bit.
And we have seen Jordan Journeau do well in these races, but oftentimes something has happened late that has kind of taken him out of contention. So again, has moved his way up towards the front. I remember in the Daytona Charity Shootout, good showings there as well. So Jordan Journeau certainly capable of getting it done here.
He's a couple weeks removed from his best career finish when the Venom Truck Series finally got that top 10 Notably led a lot of laps at Nashville Super Speedway in a race last season. Didn't get the finish to go with it. And he took a few weeks off out of frustration after getting a lot of bad luck thrown his way. But he's back running more full-time here towards the end of the regular season, and got to lead a lap there just a moment ago. Gary Clark and Brantley Gainey can't quite get hooked together here on this top line. It's really preventing this line from moving forward.
Yeah, part of that is these drivers are not, they're not working super well together there on the second lane. You saw Clark move way up the racetrack on the backstretch, and that's not really helping anybody move forward because Gainey is either going to have to fill that hole, which Clark doesn't want to give up. So I would imagine there could be some potential contact that happens as a result. So Gainey's other option is to back off the throttle to allow Clark the room to get back in, and that's not helping them move forward. So something's going to have to give here as you see Clark way up. Yeah. Gainey is going to fill the position now.
I was going to say the other problem is that Clark does not want to be any closer to Chad Stearns. Now he is going to get shuffled out here on the top side. Gainey has no problem riding that close to the 05. Chad even closer to Journeau in front of him, and just as quickly as they can shuffle Gary out, top line makes a little bit of progress, and Journeau will draw even with Hayden Palumbo, the race leader, headed to the Tri-Oval. Just a note as well, after our first caution of the night, Pascal Samard has also called it an evening. So we're down to 26 of our 28 starters here tonight at Talladega. Bertie Gunter still blinking a lot here, riding on the bottom of the track, so that's why he is not pushing up into the pack. You may have said it already, but hello to James Coleman. Talking about Austin Holyfield, led some laps early in this one, has not left the top 10 here this evening. So may the 4th be with driver 10 here tonight.
That's not till Sunday, but
well,
sure.
That's also part of the reason why he's running this paint scheme here tonight. He may keep it on for next Tuesday, too. Who knows?
Whoa, look at this. Matt Schlosser pulling way up to the top. I don't know if this is going to work out for the 04, but he is going to have a hole to get back in, so no harm, no foul. Maybe just seeing what kind of a run he can produce on his own there.
And truly no harm, no foul for Schlosser. Coming off of his 3rd win of the season, he has locked up a chase spot. He could very well, he's got the margin right now, even as they run. He could lock up the regular season championship tonight. Even with Chad Stearns running inside the top 5, Schlosser still has it for now. But Schlosser very well may get the top seed regardless. He kind of can do whatever he wants. Schlosser with a exhibition super speedway victory, but his super speedway points-paying races have left some to be desired. So Schlosser maybe just taking some notes here tonight.
Business is about to pick up here, Tommy. Broke Guy has the third lane rolling here, and Zach Lockett has taken notice. He is leading the train there on the top side.
Good group to latch yourself onto there. Lockett leading the Broke Guy train. They've said it's time to go. I'm surprised it took him this long. Jeremy's usually the first customer in line to make a big push through the field. But making sure he sticks with the teammates here tonight. And now we are 3 wide at the front of this field. Journeau leading the bottom, Stearns in the middle, Lockett on the top side with Broke Guy in tow.
Lockett and Vroman got a little off center there as Lockett drifted up towards the wall just a bit. That 3rd lane has some more takers coming to it, so we are going to be just dead even here at the front of this race at the moment.
We just had a really close call with Gary Clark and Joshua Matichek, as Matichek now sandwiching the Broke Guy drivers between him and Zach Lockett. Matichek with a 4th place finish last week at Darlington. That's his best intermediate run. And now he'll drop down to the middle.
Whoa! Lockett wanting to move down. Vroman nearly turned down into Stearns following the 93.
That is our closest call yet. They weren't more than 3 inches from one another. That's very well in netcode range. Thankfully, the internet's good in Wartburg, Tennessee.
Surprising, I know.
It's very surprising.
Something interesting I took notice of on the pit stops after the first caution was nobody came down to take extra fuel the second time around. If we're close on a number, oftentimes you would see that. Nobody opted for that, not even people that were already at the back of the field. So that tells me one of two things. We are either definitely good or we are definitely not good to the end of this race on one stop. I'm leaning towards the latter, but at this point, I'm not really sure.
I agree. We are definitely not good on fuel. Stearns and Lockett, that was a close call between the 05 and Jordan Journeau. We were even Steven there, 3 wide down the back straightaway. Now, looks like the bottom line is coming back to life, but it's ICR who has control of the middle with Brantley Gainey and Jan Van Leer.
Yeah, third lane, losing some momentum here. Broke guy getting a little broke up. And now, look at this. Brody Gunter, internet is working a little better now. He has worked his way towards the front as Jordan Journeau is going to back out. Brody Gunter going to have a head of steam down the backstretch here.
That was a voluntary move there for Journeau. Looked a little sudden, but he did not have any help from behind. So Journeau rolls out of it. Zach Lockett's the leader. Brantley Gainey leading the middle. And now Brody Gunter on the top side. And Andy Poliski, for the moment, has bailed from his teammates and is pulled down in front of Brian Mitchell in the middle. Brian Mitchell and Brody Gunter actually raced against each other in real life this weekend. Unfortunately, it did not end very well for Brody Gunter.
Andy moves back up to the top. He is, well, he had help from Brian Mitchell there for a moment, but Mitchell is going to dive back down to the middle now.
And there's another blink from Gunter, and that gets broke guys stacked up and stepping over each other.
Now Vroman going to give a bumper to the 0-1 there in turn number 3.
Whoa! Mitchell up into Poliski.
Oh,
and Mitchell back into the wall.
Both
Caution's
Sargent's big hits.
Oh, man.
Looked like John Kay took maybe a pretty good shot there as well. Another one for Poliski and Kevin Sargent.
You're right. A couple of hard hits. In particular, Kevin Sargent, Poliski, and Brian Mitchell got the worst of that one. I think that's going to probably be the end of the race for Mitchell and Poliski. They're showing meatball flags. Andy Poliski's luck has been horrid since he won the Rocket Man Memorial back in Season 6. Seems like he hasn't even finished a super speedway race since then. But under caution for the second time here on lap 32.
I mean, that left front wheel for Poliski looks like it's not even touching the ground. It is in rough shape for sure. Let's take a look at the replay here. So Mitchell down here in the middle. We saw it live. He drifts up into Poliski. Let's see what happens in turn 3. He actually dives pretty far down towards the bottom. And then, well, that's not a great look at it, is it? Come on, cameras.
Sometimes they just don't do what you need them to do.
It was almost like reactionary that he kind of maybe accidentally dove way down to the bottom and felt like he was too low. So then maybe made a correction to the top when he didn't really need to. You can just kind of hold the wheel straight, and then the way the track lays, it's just automatically going to pull you up the racetrack a little bit. And he goes up there and tags Poliski. Oh, and then also, wow, that is a big shot. He careens way up into the wall. A couple of wheels off the ground. Poliski comes down the racetrack into John Kay and Kevin Sargent. Sargent then, unfortunately, down into Paul. There was also some kind of weird net code between Kevin Sargent and Brian Mitchell as well, as they both came together in the middle of the racetrack. So sometimes that's actually even worse than just hitting each other, because you kind of damage almost the inside parts of your truck unintentionally. I know that sounds weird, but I promise that really does happen sometimes. Let's go ahead and back it up. We'll go on board with Brian. I'm interested to see if he makes a correction to the right when probably didn't necessarily need to. I'm thinking that's maybe what led to the big movement up towards the top.
Well, you and I both know if you start to make that correction, the truck is going to unload itself to the right. It's going to feel light. It's going to get tight. He said he got free. That would kind of track. But there's also, I don't know how realistic the scan of the track is, but more and more we've been talking in real life about the crossover tunnel underneath turn number 3. That's kind of in that area. So that maybe did not help things that much.
I mean, he makes just the smallest movement of the wheel to the right. And, I mean, as soon as he made it, he just never really got it back. I mean, he's pulling the wheel to the left, but he's still moving to the right. He just... it's just maybe a little bit of inexperience on iRacing in the pack like that, but you almost never want to make a movement to the right like that on into the corner at these types of racetracks, because you'll get super tight and you'll just continue to drift up the racetrack even if you're cranking the wheel to the left.
Well, my iRacing, I think, has just crashed. So that's interesting. I love when that happens. But my live tracker is still working, though, which is also interesting. So I can tell you that Brantley Gainey and Jan Van Leer will be on the front row here for this restart. Palumbo and Matacek will be on row 2. Zittel and Gunter on row 3. Vroman, Peterson, Holyfield, and McKinnon will be the top 10. I'm going to have to leave the server and come back. So you've got control of this restart all to yourself.
Oh, boy. Don't let me get control of a restart.
I know. I'll be fighting to get control back. I think now we are... Oh, go ahead.
We're doubled up here. We're headed down the backstretch. And, I mean... one of the big things that we talked about earlier in this race was fuel. Where are we at in the fuel strategy? Can they make it on one stop? Can they not? They are certainly good to make it now. So there's no worries. These drivers can pretty much go as all out as they wish here at this point, which sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that leads to maybe some not so good things. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Also headed towards the halfway point in the race, and oftentimes here at the super speedways, you get past that halfway point, and that's when things really start to pick up. But remember, there are halfway bonus points here in the Venom Truck Series, so things are about to get dicey, I think, for those drivers that are just inside or just outside of the cut line for the playoffs, really needing some of those points here.
Gonna get Ryan dicey, and things may take a nose turn for the worst.
I'm almost counting on it. Good getaway here for Gainey. Hayden Palumbo does not get a great restart behind him, and Gainey's going to pull up to allow Jan Van Leer to get with him. Those are two teammates trying to work together. Palumbo now gaining some momentum on the bottom, and he'll have a teammate, and Kyle Zittel pulling up behind him. Things are very, very spread out on this restart. I do not know what happened, but it certainly has not looked like any of the others that we have experienced thus far. From about 10th on back is all single file right now. Pretty solid pushing from Jan Van Leer up to teammate Brantley Gainey, but Palumbo and Zittel prevail across the line, so Palumbo will lead that lap. Josh Matichek now into the top 7 or so. You see a little bit of a blink there from Gunter again. And here comes Jeremy McKinnon in the 3rd lane. And this time he's got help from Chad Stearns. And McKinnon not wasting any time. Stearns wants to move forward here as well. Zach Lockett is with them, and so is Tyler Bergert. So the Broke Guy Racing teammates are all broken up here at the moment, not working together. But McKinnon is working his way forward here in the 3rd lane.
I've parachuted back into the blimp cam, so we are good to go. I made it out of the gulag. It's worth pointing out as well that Andy Poliski's night is over. After that crashes, Roman going for a gap on the top side, hits the wall. And worth pointing out, no contact there. That was just Roman going for a gap. And again, similar to what we talked about with Brian Mitchell, that truck looked like it just unloaded up the hill and maybe caught him out just a bit. But look at this, 3 wide. The momentum is on the top side. McKinnon has got a truck out ahead of at least the inside, or of the middle line, rather, as Brantley Gainey's back it up.
Wow, Chad Stearns pushed Jeremy McKinnon all the way through the middle of turns 3 and 4 there. Oh! Has to make a move up towards the top. Lockett still with Chad Stearns, but McKinnon has to move down to the bottom right in front of Gainey. Gainey a good pusher in his own right here as well. That did not look like a voluntary move, though.
No, it certainly did not. But these are 939 Motorsports teammates, Zach Lockett and Chad Stearns together. And again, Josh Freed not here tonight. So that's 2 playoff contenders with Logan and Freed who are not here. Ironically enough, they crashed each other on the final corner of Darlington last week. So maybe they're fist fighting at an Applebee's somewhere instead of racing tonight. Lisa Kelly cheering on Tyler Bergert. Bergert was just up here and was the truck that was right behind Steve Vroman when Vroman got in the wall. So that maybe scared Bergert off for the moment. But back to Luke Peterson in 13th. This lead pack is all bunched up. McKinnon's worked his way from the wall to the apron. Brantley Gainey now bringing this middle line back to life. And Stearns, Lockett, and Vroman trying to get the top side going once again. Some more blinks from Gunter. Leo Smith giving him plenty of space. The driver that he shared the front row with earlier this evening.
Steve Roman going to back out. He drops all the way to the bottom from the 3rd line, so it's only Lockett and Stearns left now. And looks like both of them might bail out of it here as well.
Top 21 are all in touch with the leader. Jordan Journeau, Kevin Sargent, and Paul Sargent are all out on track, but they are not attached to this lead pack. They all have damage. And Paul Sargent will be coming up in front of the leaders here pretty quickly as well.
I don't think it's any coincidence that we passed the halfway point and suddenly they got double file rather than 3 wide. I think that was the reason for the quick 3 wide there, and now they're going to maybe mind their P's and Q's for a moment until they get to some green flag pit stops, hopefully, and then they can all out brawl after that.
Not sure if Stearns led a lap or not, but he certainly got the bonus points there. Schlosser did not. So if Schlosser wants to cinch things up here tonight, he's going to have to bank on finishing ahead of this 05 truck by a couple of positions. Lots of space in this front group now. And we are really close to being able to make it on fuel just outright.
Yeah, I mean,
with
I think
the next caution.
They could comfortably go to, I'd say lap, I don't know, probably lap 49, and I think they would feel pretty comfortable. probably even enough for maybe a green-white checkered as well. So I think a lot of them probably looking at lap 50 to really start the cycle. But I think a lot of these guys are probably going to try and go a little bit further than that, I would imagine.
Here's Paul Sargent sticking to the top side. Well, this is the driver that these folks behind do not want to see at the front of the field. Jeremy McKinnon, he nests like a tick at the front of the field of the super speedways. It is almost impossible to get him rooted out.
Yeah, he will fly all over all 3 lanes to keep you at bay. There's no doubt about it.
That's why he's the GOAT. I know I just compared him to an invasive pest, but I mean, he's really, really good at the super speedways. Won at Auto Club earlier this season, but 3 of his 6 Venom Truck Series victories have come on the plate tracks, including a Rocket Man Memorial back in our first Venom Truck Series race in season number 5.
Austin Holyfield is going to find some room to drop down to the bottom here, so Stearns and Lockett should be able to work their way towards the bumper of the ICR team here.
It says a lot about Austin Holyfield's night that he restarted in 10th, and that's the lowest we've seen him all night. Right now running in the 8th position as they go.
Woo, boy.
Well, Jan Van Leer has not quite gotten his elbows out here tonight, but he's done what he needs to do. He has had a rough 4-week stretch here in the Venom Truck Series, and he is deep, deep in the hole. Would not have guessed that after the season he had last season, but right now there's a very high probability that Jan Van Leer is not going to be a part of the chase field this season unless he has a couple of stellar weeks starting tonight.
There's some interesting chat around the radio about performance-enhancing drugs happening at the moment. And, no, I'm not talking about real PEDs. We're talking about Claritin.
Well, don't forget, Carl Edwards was Claritin clear here when he nearly got launched into the grandstands in 2009.
Oh, jeez.
So, I'm not
Don't
sure.
put that on any of these drivers, please.
The good news is they don't have to take the brunt of the physical impact if indeed that happens. But, you know. Peterson.
Hey, Karen's in the chat cheering on Jeremy McKinnon.
All right.
Look at that. I think that might be the first ever comment from Karen, and it is greatly appreciated.
I think it might be. You picked a good night for it, too, because Jeremy's been cleaning up since he found his way to the front of the field. They had one caution, and they decided it was go time. They have not looked back since. But now, McKinnon going to be looking to his outside as Brantley Gainey is pushing ahead.
Whoa, Stearns kind of inching down towards the 12 as well as he followed Gainey down. Gainey clear, so he is going to lead the field now. Those are a couple of odd bedfellows there in Stearns and Gainey.
I was going to say, Gainey doesn't have to feel bad about leaving Chad Stearns because they're not teammates.
But you know who are teammates? Zach Lockett and Chad Stearns, and they have a satellite teammate with them in Matt Schlosser here as well. So this is a good group here on the top right now.
Well, there's Tyler Logan. Just woke up. Yeah, that's no good.
Been there, brother.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, yeah.
I think I missed a very important race coming to the playoffs in our Super Speedway Series one time because I slept in. So
you certainly did.
Oh, well.
Schlosser not pushing the issue all that much. But Zach Lockett certainly is. He is not hardly left Stern's bumper. But 3 of them against everybody there on the inside line. That's a tough row to hoe. I was really proud about my joke about Tyler Logan earlier. Him and Josh Freed both not being here tonight, wondering if they were going to Applebee's to have a fist fight after last week. I just wanted to say that again because that may be one of my favorite jokes I've ever told on this channel. And topical.
Very topical, no doubt about it.
Well, Gainey's eating good in the neighborhood right now. He's got a great pusher with Jeremy McKinnon. And Gainey, similar to Jan Van Leer, in a deep hole. Needs a good night and a great result. Really, Gainey's been having a good season. He, similar to Jan, just had a 3-week stretch where the finishes were not finishes. They were DNFs. And that just really took him out of it. But he's got the wind back in his sails here. He's led quite a few laps here this evening, and he's got good help all around him.
Really good run there from those 3 on the top. Nearly got Stearns out ahead at the line, but now they've kind of broken up a little bit. And they're going to come back together again, try and get that big push down the front stretch. Here come
ICR.
pit stops.
You called it, lap 49. Pretty clean entries. This is ICR and Pony Express and Steve Roman. So Roman not going to pit with Jeremy McKinnon. But we were wondering if they were still going to be working together, and indeed they are. ICR and Pony Express all in here on lap 49.
And they wasted no time. Lap 50 came on the board, and they got to pit road. So they are looking to try and all get together here to potentially put in some hot laps to leapfrog the field. We'll see if the rest of the field answers the call here.
Tyler Berger going to leapfrog the whole group. One of the last drivers in, one of the first drivers out. Hopefully he got enough fuel. But either way, the 44.
Few.
Here is some of the Alabama gang. Gunter, Zittel, Peterson, and Gary Clark going to pick off this group as well, but Clark going to lock it up and spin.
Yeah.
And that is not Claritin clear.
Wow, so only 3 drivers are going to be in this group for right now, but they're hoping to be able to latch on to those drivers that just came off pit road a moment ago. That only leaves a few left out on the racetrack.
And the drivers that were out there were not very well put together spatially, so they're going to have a hard time consolidating their energy here, even if the majority of them are teammates, other than Jeremy McKinnon.
Something happened to Josh Matichek on his pit stop. He is now going a lap down.
That is catastrophic for Matichek. I'll back up and check what happened here. Nobody coming to pit road this time.
So Stearns and Lockett going to stay out there. McKinnon and Schlosser here to help. Currently 9 drivers that have not come down pit road this far that are on the lead lap.
Matichek slid through his box by a full box.
Well, not typically here at Talladega, but I have certainly had my fair share of qualms with the spotter not telling me where my pit box is at and not counting me down properly. So that might be possible here as well. What isn't great here is Breeding and Ellison pushing their way to the front of this field. They really need to stay single file, and some drivers are going to come down pit road because they do not want to be double file. Stearns, Lockett, McKinnon, and Palumbo in here together.
So Palumbo leaving his teammates to pit with this smaller group. Very interesting. That leaves Breeding, Ellison, Rainey, and Kay.
I like the call from Palumbo because that too wide was bad for everybody, and I think that was able to help, maybe able to help them get more single file. I think that was the right call.
Well, we talked about these drivers not having it together that have stayed out. That is no longer the case. They are nose to tail with the lap truck of Matichek in this mix here as well. Breeding, Ellison, Rainey, Kay, and Matt Schlosser You know, if you're going to pick up a straggler, there's the worst ones to pick up than Matt Schlosser, that's for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how much longer these drivers are going to stay out and if they're putting any time on the drivers that have already pit. Right now, we've got what may be a lead pack of about, looks like 9 or 10 drivers, not counting the drivers that have not pit, with Gunter Peterson, Van Leer, Zittel, Gainey, Holyfield, Leo Smith, Cole Maxwell, Tyler Bergert, Steve Roman.
And Chad Stearns and Zach Lockett came out well ahead of that group. And part of the... Oh, one is in the wall. That's Kevin Sargent, I believe.
Yeah, and Palumbo pulled a Ross Chastain there and made the field work around 2 slower trucks there just to make sure that he was going to stick with this group. You may not like it, but it's certainly effective. It's going to get Palumbo right to the tail of the inside line here. So add a 10th driver into this group.
Part of the reason that Stearns and Lockett are so far ahead of the group at the moment is because this group is double file. They are not doing themselves any favors, especially with Breeding and company single file out front right now.
So maybe Stearns and Lockett, who are good to capitalize here after the front 5 make their pit stop. Now the gap is 2 seconds between Van Leer and Lockett, and you're going to start to pick up a slipstream just inside of 2 seconds. So Jan and Brantley getting the work done here on the inside. They may be just starting to get a whiff of the draft here, and yes, indeed, they are. They've cut this gap in half, and they are going to ingest the 93 and the 05 here pretty quickly.
Yeah, but the 93 and the 05 are probably going to stay here on the bottom. It'll be up to the rest of the field to work together to get around them.
Or will they Chastain it and go double file and make it 4 wide?
I don't think so, but we're seeing
I wouldn't want to.
This field is muscling each other up towards the wall to try and get around these two.
Yeah, Peterson and Gunter rather have made some contact.
Oh.
So your front 5 are still out, yet to make their final stop. Breeding, Ellison, Rainey, and Kay, teammates. Matt Schlosser, the odd one out there in the front group.
Even though I think they lost a little bit of time initially, this group that's currently out front that still needs to come down pit road, I don't think there's any doubt about it that they are probably going to cycle out to the front here.
Yeah, they just ran a 50.5, while the lead group just ran a 51.4. So almost a full second quicker as they were catching the draft from Lockett and Stearns. But they are all tripping over each other here, going 3 wide. A lot of times it may start to slow just a little bit now as they don't have a rabbit to chase. The
Not only that,
momentum
they're
is
now
swinging
3 wide.
wildly.
Oh, Jan is going to drop all the way down, leaves Brantley.
They just had a big check up there on the inside as Stearns and Lockett nearly got tangled together. It checked up Bergert and Vroman and allowed Jan Van Leer to get here. Here come the front 5. Clean entries for all 5. No speeding penalties, no spins, no contact. Hoping to get in their boxes and get out and maybe take a little bit less fuel as well. That may make up for some of the lap time that they had been losing.
Yeah, I might end up beating my words here. I really thought that they'd be able to put in better lap times than the big pack, but it didn't seem that way.
No, even last lap, they were half a second slower.
I mean, this field's already coming out of turn 4. These drivers are just getting off pit road.
I'm just as surprised as you. Figured that with them being out 2 and 3 wide, that they would not have nearly the speed that 5-truck single file did. I think the question now is, are they going to be able to hang on to the draft? They're coming out of the backstretch now. I think they should be okay to latch on.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's going to get messy here as they are still 3 wide.
Now, this might be a Chastain moment. There's enough of them that they could block the field up here.
They may still be out in front of this group. Oh, contact between teammates, Brantley Gainey and Cole Maxwell. Here comes a big run. John Kay, the race leader, but here comes Jan Van Leer pulling in the rest of the lead pack.
Bergert jumps
Tyler Bergert.
all the way to the third lane.
And Maxwell checks up that line, trying to leave him a gap. Here's Schlosser now to the outside. Says, thank you very much to the Alabama gang for the track position. I'm going to pass you now.
Well, this is it. Now this has set the stage. Pit stops are over. It is all out from here to the end of the race. The next just about 16 laps to go. If you have moves in your sleeve, you got to make them and pull them out now.
The top 18 are attached. Jeremy McKinnon and Joshua Matichek are the two that did not stick with the lead pack. Your defending race winner and a two-time Talladega winner. And they are going to be out of the running here without a caution. I'm saying a caution is not going to be very hard to come by. These trucks are dancing around. These drivers are getting aggressive.
Man.
Bergert getting pushed from his teammate for the night, Brantley Gainey.
Yeah, Gainey is pushing big time. That is a massive push from Gainey through the corner up to Bergert. Both of them are clear. And look at this, Maxwell clear as well. Three of them get down all the way from the third lane to the bottom.
John Kay in a rare position, going for a win at a super speedway. Now moving up to cover off Brantley Gainey in the Golden Eagle Syrup machine. This is the Golden Eagle Syrup 200. And we've got 15 to go here at Talladega.
He's won the Venom Clash before at Daytona.
Yes.
Can
With
he
help
win
from Matt
one?
Williamson.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're right. This is for points. Pay window isn't quite open yet, but John Kay can sense it after a couple of disappointing races in the last few weeks, especially Darlington last week.
Well, him and Garrett Rainey have gotten together. They pushed themselves out front there for a moment. Now the momentum coming back here from the bottom, but I haven't talked much about Garrett Rainey here tonight other than the fact that he is the sponsor for the race here tonight, but he's put himself in a great position here with 15 to go.
Rainey would love a win. He would love just to have a good finish. He's had good runs of late, but has not got the results to go with him. He's been caught up in a lot of stuff.
Well, we haven't done it thus far. We're 3 wide. Let's get a quick half a lap or so here cranking it up.
Do it.
So we were even 3 wide there for about a half a lap or so. Bergert and Gainey are leading it here on the bottom, pushed themselves pretty far out front here at the moment.
Lisa Kelly is cheering wherever she is right now. Tyler Bergert, podium finisher here at Talladega last season, and he is backing it up right now, leading the way inside of 15 laps to go here at Talladega. Brantley Gainey doing what he needs to do here tonight to try and get himself back in the fight for a spot in the chase. Jan Van Leer leading the outside line. Don't have much help behind him. Brody Gunter still with some connectivity issues, and Leo Smith giving him plenty of space as a result. So they're not making much progress right now. Middle line has been very back and forth here this evening. It's got John Kay and Garrett Rainey, certainly two competent hands leading the way. And they are trying to fight back here. Kay almost even with Tyler Bergert down the Alabama gang super stretch. In fact, they are even now into turn number 3. Doesn't matter how many races at Talladega we do, Matt, this is always the point in the night where the stomach starts to get a little queasy, the legs start to get a little bouncy, even for us in the booth. This is when the final pieces start to get put in place.
It's just one of those beautifully chaotic things that you just cannot look away from. Just hyper fixated on the 3 wide right now, anxious about what is about to unfold, as in about a half a lap or so, we will be within 10 to go.
Amy cheering on Paul. Paul there fourth on the inside line, came oh so close to victory a couple of times this season, but also at Daytona to open up season number 9. Would love to go one better here tonight at Talladega. Who's to say that can't happen? Sun's on 2x speed if you're curious. It's only 5:30 in the sim, but it looks a little dark around Talladega. We'll get it in with daylight to spare. Maybe. If we don't have 3 green-white checkers.
Man, that third lane gets big runs, and then they disappear, and then they make another run, and they disappear again. They just can't quite keep it together for an extended amount of time.
We've pretty well covered everybody in this lead pack throughout the night.
Oh, Gunter, big blinks there on the top as they finally get a little bit of help. That is not going to help things here.
That's not what Jan wants to see at all. It'd be a little bit worse if he was in front of him, but you never know when you're going to reappear in the world.
I mean, those are extended and a numerous amount of blinks here. And I think I thought he was going to pull up to the 4th lane and try and let him by, but I mean, he doesn't really have many places to go here. He's
well,
kind
the
of
tri-oval
stuck.
would have been the place to do it, since there's a dedicated 4th line in the tri-oval only. But does not do that. The top line going to suffer as a result. Peterson and Zittel are going to bail. Zittel not in the position that he wants to be in at this point. He's going to hope that this top line clears out pretty quickly so him and Peterson can get to work up top. There
Look
goes
at that.
Schlosser now.
That was a big move from the 04, so Jan van Leer finally has a dancing partner that is not having connectivity issues, albeit he is now second in line, but I think you'd rather be second in line with a partner that is a full force and can go full bore rather than somebody behind you that might not be able to push as well just due to internet issues.
And again, Schlosser with nothing to lose. Would love to lock up the regular season championship here tonight, but he is in the chase. He's the only one in the dance as of now. But that'll change here in about 7 laps' time. Schlosser would love to take a super speedway victory off the to-do list here in the Venom Truck Series, and he's ticked quite a few things off that list already this season.
We also need to mention that on Thursday in Max V, we saw a truck blow up from pushing too hard. If you're ever going to push too hard, right now is the time at the end of the race. So you have to be careful of not pushing too hard for too long and blowing the engine in front of the field.
Inside, or rather the middle line checked up hard, and Vroman got hit from behind by Kyle Zittel. I don't know how both of them saved it. It didn't make it anybody else's problem, but that does not get much closer than that without the big one.
We were dead even across the line there, 3 lanes abreast. It is getting interesting.
Bergert leading on the bottom. John Kay leading the middle. Matt Schlosser leading the top side.
Jan
These
got
trucks-
disconnected from Schlosser there for a moment, and look how far they've already fallen. I mean, It was only like a quarter of the backstretch that he was way off the 04, and they have suffered greatly because of it.
Kyle Zittel is desperately trying to move his way forward here, but every line that he gets in stalls out, as now here is Zach Lockett from third in the middle to lead in the outside line. It's still Bergert at the stripe with 5 to go.
Lockett and Schlosser, familiar partners. Let's see how well they can work together there on the third lane. John Kay and Garrett Rainey just have not quite had the answer for the bottom line here.
2 cautions from smaller accidents thus far tonight is the big one lurking in the future here with 4 laps to go. There's Rainey and Maxwell with some contact, and this is going to send the middle line backwards.
Yeah, that will kill the momentum there in the middle.
And it may open the door for Zach Lockett and Matt Schlosser to move down the track.
Oh,
hesitation.
Late
Schlosser.
move.
He's going to get shuffled out. Lockett has control, though. Now off the front bumper of John Kay.
4 wide through turn 1. Oh, they've come together. It's going.
Jan into Schlosser. Schlosser then gets tagged by Leo Smith. We're still wrecking. Good saves there from Schlosser. Jan Van Leer going to get the worst of that. That really could have been a lot worse considering the circumstances. But 4 wide, even at Talladega with that extra space, it hardly ever works.
Yeah, and that was all kicked off from a hesitation from Schlosser. If he would have just trusted it and pulled down, he could have had it. But I don't blame him for trying to be somewhat cautious there. But it ended up not working out for them.
Well, that is good news for Jeremy McKinnon, Joshua Matichek, who were on the tail end of the lead lap. They'll get back into the mix. And Jordan Journeau is going to get the lucky dog here. That will give us 21 on the lead lap. And some damaged trucks to boot.
So let's look back. We're going to go back further so we can see this from Schlosser. Lockett and Schlosser benefiting from the slip up there in the middle line. And Lockett wants to move. If Schlosser would have moved right there, he would have had it. But momentum coming from the middle here. Schlosser hesitates. Makes the move too late. He then kind of had an opportunity to do it again here. It would have been tight between Kay and Gainey, but could have, Kay and Rainey, but could have made it work. And then, some contact from Rainey to Schlosser, and Jan Van Leer is tight to the 04's door already. Brody Gumter into Jan Van Leer there. Pretty hard shot. And then this is where Smith gets into Schlosser there as well. And Schlosser hits the outside wall really, really hard. Let's go back one more time, and let's go from Garrett Rainey's point of view, because he kind of got the best view of the hesitation from the 04. There's the first hesitation. Then Schlosser kind of has an opportunity here, doesn't take it. Almost, yeah, I mean, there's just not much room. I just heard Jan Van Leer say he kind of came down the racetrack at the same time as well. I don't know if that's necessarily his fault necessarily. There's just a lot of things happening there that brought them all together.
Yeah, he elected to claim that caution. I kind of disagree, but Like you said, there's a lot going on and lots of jockeying for position. And certainly, especially if there's not 4 dedicated lanes, if there's just one Lone Ranger there stuffed in the middle of that pack, it usually does not end well. It could have gone worse, but, I mean, it did go pretty bad for, in particular, Schlosser, Gunter, Peterson, and Jan Van Leer, who are all getting damage fixed on pit road. Kyle Zittel also took a trip down pit road. So did Jeremy McKinnon, who was 30 seconds behind that accident.
Yeah, McKinnon kind of out there all by his lonesome, maybe burning some extra fuel. Maybe just had to come down to top off there real quick.
Well, all the damaged trucks are good to continue, and they will all stay on the lead lap, so we will have 21 trucks headed into our first of a potential 3 overtimes. And it is the driver who started shotgun on the field here tonight that is leading the way with 2 laps to go, or what will be 2 to go when we come back to the stripe. Tyler Bergert, 28th to 1st. What a run it would be for him here tonight. Picked up his first and only podium finish in the Venom Truck Series here at Talladega last season. A 3rd-place finish where he pushed Joshua Matacek to the win. John Kay has been vying for Tyler Bergert to replace him as Venom Truck Series' most popular driver for the last couple of seasons. And I think if the 44 truck were to pull that off here tonight, he may have a shot at it, because it would be a pretty popular win, and some libations would be consumed across this great nation of ours. And in Canada as well.
Yeah, what the hell? I'll even open up a line in Kugel for him as well.
But 5 miles and some change, a lot can happen. Another driver vying for his first Venom Truck Series victory, Zach Lockett. And it's not been from a lack of effort. He's got 3 podium finishes this season. He also has a non-points victory at iRacing Superspeedway, so he knows how to do it on the Superspeedways. Finished 3rd last week at Darlington, and has podiums at the Big 2 Milers Auto Club in Michigan this season as well. John Kay, Brantley Gainey on row number 2. Cole Maxwell and Garrett Rainey, 2 drivers that would love to sneak in for their first Venom Truck Series victory here on row number 3. Paul Ellison, Chad Stearns, Leo Smith, and Eric Breeding. Winner at Monza Right twice a couple of weeks ago. He knows how to do it. He'll start in 10th. First overtime attempt is on the way. If we take the white, next flag ends it. If we don't take the white, we'll re-rack him and try it again. Tyler Bergert, Zach Lockett on the front row. It's overtime at Talladega. Inside line, a bit broke it up. Maxwell not going to be able to help Gainey here. They may draw even. Out of turn number 2 is John Kay giving big pushes here to Zach Lockett.
Their help is on its way. Not quite there yet. Stearns and Rainey looking to make a move. Rainey and Kay taking it all the way to the 3rd lane. They do not want to help the teammates that are now together in the middle. Oh, Kay clears himself down. Can we make it to the stripe? Nothing doing right now. White flag is out. Tommy Cook has gone mute. Hopefully everything's okay and it was just an accident. Then again, maybe not. Oh! There goes one. That's Leo Smith hard down into the inside wall. Tyler Bergert leads it here on the bottom. John Kay up top with help from the 93 and the 05. Oh, nearly contact there in the middle. John Kay out front right now. He's going to clear himself down to the bottom. John Kay has won it here at Talladega What a move from John Kay. Doesn't even give that inside line an option to move forward. Pulls down in front. And John Kay picks up a victory here at Talladega. He's won quite a few races here in the Venom Truck Series, but this one is going to be quite special here for the two, I have a feeling. John Kay makes it happen here on the green-white checkered finish. Just when we thought it looked like he may not have the opportunity, the caution comes out, puts himself in a good position. And he made a couple of bold moves there at the end of the race to make it happen here around the biggest and the fastest. Some limited burnouts here for the two. You see the teammates now burning it down at the start-finish line. And if you don't hear Tommy Cook, that's because he's not here. I'm thinking something may have happened to his internet. And yes, that is the case. Tommy Cook confirmed internet issues there with just 2 to go. But it doesn't matter. John Kay, winner here at Talladega. Zach Lockett finishes in second. Tyler Berger, who was looking so good there at the end. John Kay pulls down in front, but still finishes on the podium. So let's go ahead and get to your full finishing rundown here. John Kay finally gets it done here at Talladega. He is going to take the big win here. Completes the 75 laps and comes out on top. Zach Lockett, doggone it, another great run for the 93 and still comes up a position short. Man, that is, we'll talk to Zach here in a moment. Tyler Berger, another great finish here for the 44 as well. He finishes on a podium position there in third. Chad Stearns was rocking and rolling all night, comes up a little bit short. He'll finish in fourth. Brantley Gainey was a great pusher here throughout the evening. We saw him giving pushes to both teammates and non-teammates of all kinds. He finishes fifth. Josh Monacek, Cole Maxwell, Jeremy McKinnon, Paul Ellison, and Kyle Zittel are your top 10. Outside the top 10, Garrett Rainey, Austin Holyfield, Hayden Palumbo, Luke Peterson and Jordan Jorno will be your top 15. Brody Gunter fighting internet issues again there at the very end of the race. He finishes in 16th. Eric Breeding in 17th. Jan Van Leer ran into those issues there to bring out that final caution. He finishes 18th. Leo Smith finishes 19th, with Matt Schlosser rounding out your top 20. Outside the top 20, Steve Roman, Gary Clark, Paul Sargent. They will complete the 75 laps. And then Kevin Sargent, Andy Poliski, Brian Mitchell, Pascal Samard, and Rodney Matney, all DNFs here tonight.
Well, guess whose internet went out with a lap and a half to go?
Well,
I have no idea what my audio quality is like. I'm on my phone because it's still not back. So if it sounds that bad, I'll just leave.
It certainly sounds different, but I'm not going to call it horrible. So I think we're okay to continue with the phone call here from Tommy Cook. I guess you could say he's phoning it in here tonight.
Okay.
So we just got to your full finishing rundown. We'll go ahead and drag in your podium finishers, and I guess I'll probably have to do that for you here.
You are certainly going to have to do that.
So we are going to talk to your third place finisher on the podium, and that is Mr. Tyler Berger. Congratulations on a podium.
Hello, thank you very much. I will take my trophy.
That's third for the second season in a row here, if I'm not mistaken. And man, so close to a victory here tonight.
Man, yeah, we were synced up with Insert Coin again. We had a really good pit stop there on that green flag run, and I kind of got Brantley behind me, and I was like, man, screw it, I'm going to the top, and we're going to see if I either go to the front or go to the back. And we ended up at the front, and no one could pass us, man. So I felt really good about it. And then Brantley started to overheat, and I think he might have done a little bit too much. I don't know, because they couldn't pass before, and then after that green flag come back out, they got us on this. I don't know if we were down on speed or if I made a mistake or what. And then we started beating on each other's door because he was trying to push through me. So I'm sure that didn't help. But I mean, third place is still better than last place, so I'll take it.
Certainly so. Matt, what you got?
Yeah, okay. Congrats on a good finish. I think that's a nice positive outlook. I mean, Talladega is certainly one of those places where you could easily finish last and not even something of your own doing. So third place finish, definitely going to take one of those here tonight.
Talladega and Daytona are my two least favorite racetracks. Don't let anybody fool you. I hate Talladega and I hate Daytona.
Well, so that'll lead me into a question then, because you kind of hate those two racetracks, but at the same time, you tend to know how to race them at the same time. So, I mean, even though you hate them, do you always kind of come into one of these feeling like, man, I have an opportunity here tonight?
Yeah, you do. You're like, it's going to one of two ways. I have a really good chance, or I'm going to get junked of nothing of my own doing. More times often than not, that's what ends up happening to me. I don't know if I'm just a magnet for destruction, but yeah, I do always feel, thinking about the race throughout the day. I'm like, I could get a win today. I'm generally pretty good, but I always seem to have pretty bad luck. So I love the third place, but I still hate this racetrack.
Well, I don't have the stats in front of me to back it up, but I'd like to give you your flowers a little bit here. Okay. I feel like this season has been very, very good for you, and it's been an improvement over seasons past. How do you feel about your season as a whole, since we've got some time here tonight?
Well, overall, it's been kind of up and down. Like, I've had a couple good showings here and there, and then I've had some pretty poor ones. I've had a couple of DNFs for wrecks and whatnot, and just made some mistakes throughout the season, have some damage, and you're just not back up to speed. Like, I've had some good times and I've had some bad times. I feel like it's better than it has been, but I'm still basically kind of a part-time racer. I jump in here about 5 minutes before the race starts and send it.
Well, you certainly sent it here tonight. It was Great stuff from you here tonight at Talladega. Always great to get to talk to you at the end of the night as well. Let's get some shout-outs going for you.
Well, I want to thank Brantley for pushing me the whole way, trying to push me to the win. That dude's awesome. Insert Coin, those guys are great to work with. We always work with them at the plate tracks. We've got a good mojo going. I want to thank John Kay because I hate him. That's all. I just hate John Kay. Let him know, right? And then, I want to thank my wife for letting me do this. My son Henry, he loves watching it when he's awake. And my manager Lisa, she's a big supporter of it. She's the best. Go Lisa! Everybody, 1, 2, 3, go Lisa!
Go Lisa!
All right, Lisa. And and you guys for putting on a great show, and then everybody at Venom, man. These are hard races to win, man. They're hard races to get top 10s. They're hard to get top 20s sometimes, and like these dudes are competitive, and you couldn't ask for anything better, honestly.
Well, you have this joint rocking and rolling here tonight. We'll get you that 2 better here soon. But great stuff from you here tonight. Great to get to talk to you again, and we'll hopefully talk to you again here soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for doing the work here as well.
Yeah, we're gonna pull in Zach Lockett here in just a moment. This is certainly
not easy for you.
No, this is certainly unconventional. And here he is, second place finisher, Zach Lockett. We'll let Tommy take over the interview here in a moment, but I mean, what more has to happen for one of these to go your way?
Yeah, it's been too long, but we'll take the points. I was telling Chad on that final restart, I said I knew John and Garrett were behind me. I said they're gonna go around me, and then you're gonna come up right behind me, and you're gonna give me a huge push, and we're gonna go in this. And John slid down and left Garrett, and I still thought I was gonna be able to back up a run, and me and Chad could go around him, but I thought he was kind of milking the throttle a little bit and just staying backed up to me, but I just talked to him, and he said he wasn't. So he just stayed right there in front of me, didn't really move, and I didn't really get a good enough push to, push him enough so I could go around him. But yeah, it's I definitely thought that last restart that would be mine, but it is what it is. I'll take a second place, some stage points, third place last week. I guess first place will be next week if it goes 3-2-1. So
yeah, I am back on the PC now, by the way. We're back on the microphone. Best career finish tonight. You've had 3/3 this season. Finally got the second. One more race to go before the chase. I know you had a big buffer. It was gone, and now it's back. I mean, how do we feel about heading into Rockingham for the final regular season race?
Oh, I feel great. Rockingham's a really fun track. I'm going to practice a ton this week. I did pretty well there last year. Led a bunch of laps actually coming down to the end. And then the same guy who stole it tonight stole that one. So we'll have to make sure I get the next one. So I feel really good about Rockingham. Feel really good about my ability to get into the playoffs now after this solid run, and looking forward to all those races. I think Chicagoland's the first one, so that should be a fun one as well.
Yeah, you are now 49 to the good, so not quite able to clinch it. Yeah, it's on paper, but depending on how many people show up next week, you should be able to do it by the drop of the green. So that's exciting stuff. Back-to-back podium finishes, your 4th one of the season. Congrats. Let's get some shout-outs as usual.
Yeah, shout out to Chad. Chad was sticking with me all night. He said, even if everyone wrecks, he's going to come and push me to the line. He said he owed me one from Michigan. So appreciate Chad and all the teamwork we put in tonight. We were working pretty well together, of course. Matt Schlosser, of course, the satellite teammate. I feel terrible that last caution I left him out to dry. I thought he could have enough room to sneak down in that second lane behind me and put him in a rough spot to make them 4 wide. But appreciate working with him as always. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Josh Freed, who couldn't be here tonight, he's going through some storms over there in Pennsylvania and had his power knocked out. So he'll be back next week. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Can't wait to go back and watch this one. And I have all the admins here at Venom, and my lovely fiance Erica, who I think is watching. So hello to her, and we'll see you guys next week.
Sounds like a playing partner. Great stuff here tonight, and we'll hope to talk to you again at the Rock.
All right, thank you. Start the timer for John now.
And on the clock, but he's doing it as a race winner, so who cares? John Kay just won at Talladega, and hell is currently freezing as we speak.
Are you fucking kidding me? I just won. I didn't just win any race. I won a plate race at Talladega, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like Cletus McFarland right now. I need to rip the sleeves off my shirt or something. Holy oh my God.
Well, I mean, I kind of got to see it a little bit. Talk me through that move. I mean, you know you've got confidence with the crew that you work with, and especially with the guy that helped make that move happen.
Yeah, man. I mean, I honestly, I was gonna stick with Garrett when we went 3 wide outside. I tried to wait till the last minute and not give Zach much of a chance to see it coming and come up and block it. And it was just a matter of I was going to stick with Garrett. And we were getting clear. And I was like, man, I really want to win. And I was like, I could, you don't want to leave your teammate, obviously, but I was like, I could jump back down in front of Lockett because Garrett had some damage and it was making his truck drive all funky. And we're getting there. And Garrett goes, when you get clear, go. And I was like, I got free reign to go. But I'm like, I'm still like, I got that tug that's like, man, just stick with him. Like, it's Garrett. It's all gonna work out, And I got a little bit clear of Zach, and I thought about it. I was like, no, I can't do it. And then I got a second opportunity. I cleared him just a little bit more, and I was like, to hell with it, just take the chance. And I freaking hung the left in front of him, and he pushed the hell out of me. And I mean, fantastic pushes. That was, other than a teammate pushing me, that was some of the smoothest pushes I've ever had. So that was pretty freaking cool.
Well, you heard it here first. They're tugging at Talladega, Matt. What do you got for your race winner?
Hey now.
I mean, massive congratulations. I mean, you're somebody that has won at all types of racetracks now at this point. But I mean, is there just something special about Talladega that you just can't quite put your finger on, even though there's some drivers out there that might not even consider it all skill, they consider it luck? Is there just something about winning at Talladega that just feels unbelievable?
Man, as one of those people that I'm in the camp of sometimes, not all the time, it does take skills, and I've learned that as I've gone along. But like, man, I used to think it's just luck. Like, they all wreck. You got to miss one wreck. And I mean, the luck definitely came into play because there was a wreck and I did not miss it. I'll be honest. I don't know. I must've got one of those Andy Poliski specials when it rolled off the assembly line, because I thought for sure when I hit Andy in that like lap 10 caution, that was going to be I was done. Got the minute fix and then a really good pit stop at the end. And I was like, it's like I've kind of sat here and still trying to soak it all in, but there is a lot of skill that goes into it. You see guys like Zittel and Jeremy and Paul and Garrett. I mean, there's some other guys that I'm sure I'm missing. Those are just the first that come to my mind. They're always up front at plate races. And so there is a lot of skill that goes into it. Sometimes you just got to have a little bit of track position, and you just gotta close your eyes and kind of jump and make the right move. And got lucky and made the right move.
Well, you were up front, rocking and rolling for a good chunk of this race here tonight, as were your teammates. But I think you were finally due. Well, like you said, it takes skill to get these super speedways done, but it also takes a fair amount of luck. But you certainly put the skill on display here tonight. And by the way, you might want to give Andy Poliski one of the Andy Poliski specials. He needs a helping hand here of late in the super speedways. So, we'll save that for another day.
I mean, that dude, I'll never forget. It was a couple of, I think it was like season 6 or something at Talladega. I was me and Nathan I was trying to catch Nathan in the points, and Andy was behind me by a handful of points, and he was in every freaking wreck that night, and he still beat me to the line. And so it's just become a running joke since then. But there's been plenty of times Andy's been in every wreck, and somehow his truck is just like immaculate, running immaculate. It seems like, and so we always give him crap for it. I hate that, tonight. Part of it is my fault, but I smoked him after he had spun. I don't know how bad the damage was before that, but maybe
he was done. He was done already. Don't worry.
maybe maybe I can send him a little thank you note and pass some of the good juju back to him.
Well, you are now one of 5 drivers that are unofficially, by our count, locked into the chase. Great stuff here tonight. Career victory number 12 in your first at a super speedway. Points paying anyway. Let's get those shout outs going.
First and foremost, got a shout out my girlfriend Allie. It was her birthday yesterday. So I mean, even more special to win tonight. Super duper cool. Shout out my mom and dad. Shout out Garrett, Paul, Kyle, Luke, Eric, Hayden, Brody, the whole team. We all ran really good tonight. If we could have got linked up, I think we'd have been a big problem for the rest of the field. And again, huge shout out to Garrett. I couldn't have done it without him. I ended up pitting with him at the end for that last green flag pit stop, and we came out ahead thanks to some good pushes to him, to Paul. I think it was just the 3 of us. There's got to have been somebody. Eric was out there with us. Eric was at the front. We gave him good pushes and managed to cycle out to the front of the field. And I mean, just awesome job of adapting and changing the game plan and making it work. Shout out my boss, Sean. I was just talking about this earlier. The first race I won on my desk was an NIS Daytona 500, which was the last time I won a plate race.
Oh, wow.
So, that was a couple of years ago. I'm not going to count the clash because I didn't do much to win it. It ended under caution or whatever. But,
somebody helped you with that one.
Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about that. That same guy threw an asshole slide job too, but it's fine. We're still friends. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Shout out Couch if Couch is watching. Shout out Dale Earnhardt Sr. It's his birthday today.
Wow.
Happy
birthday
heavenly
to the Intimidator.
Happy heavenly birthday to the GOAT. He's back over my shoulder watching me, so add a little extra hand, maybe some extra Budweiser stickers in front of the camera. Who knows? And shout out Cole. It's Cole's birthday tomorrow, so shout out to him. One more time, shout out to Zach Lockett for some monster pushes at the end. God dang! Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Tommy's Internet. Shout out to the YouTube channel, JK Gaming. The Venom cast is coming back. Oh, maybe this weekend. We have a race this weekend, so it'll be kind of tough. But our next guest that I definitely have lined up is going to be freaking incredible, and I can't wait to have him on and to talk about some really awesome stuff with him. I'm going to keep it a secret until he shows up because I think that'll be really cool. And yeah, man, holy shit. Man, yeah. What a freaking race. I can't believe it. I can wreck out of every other super speedway after this and it's cool. I'm cool with it. And another huge thing I just talked about that I had gotten out of my head, like literally this past weekend before this race, I went in the same paint scheme with the same scheme colors on it for the second time. So never done that before. Got the Rainy Cars paint scheme in Victory Lane again, which is at Dega, dude. It's all right there. It's all right there. And shout out Jeff Langston. Tied him on the all-time wins list, so that's pretty cool. Nice. I don't know where he's at. Yeah, I don't know where he's at, but shout out Jeff, man. Come back and race with us.
As of 2.5 years ago, he's building a house, so
yeah,
hopefully that house is built and he's staying dry.
I would hope so.
Well,
I got one more thing.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Vote Tyler Berger for most popular driver.
Yeah, there we go.
even though I stole the win from him tonight, but it's fine.
You definitely did do that. Good stuff here tonight, though. And 12 wins. 3 of them have been called now by Matt Williamson by himself. So
maybe Tommy just needs to get lost.
I just need to leave
at this point.
The the Daredevil race was only one of you also.
Yeah, that was just
that was me.
That was just smart. Yep.
Yeah. Crazy. My
Oh,
good luck
boy.
charm, even though we have beef.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Nah, maybe
That'll
I'll
happen.
just leave so John K never wins again. How about that?
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
man.
liking that
Hey,
one
man.
more.
Hey now.
All right. Well, we could do this all night. We got stuff to
Yeah.
do. Go celebrate. Go party
Thank
hard.
you guys.
We'll
Yeah.
hopefully talk to you again at the Rock.
I hope so. 250 laps. It's gonna be a long one.
Oh, he ain't kidding. It is going to be a long one next Tuesday night. We got plenty of stuff between now and then. But, Matt, you got to call that one to the finish. Thank you very much. I have some words, and they are not, even though John K. breached the barrier there with a couple of F-bombs. I'm going to keep mine to myself for I3 broadband, but they'll be sending an email later. But yeah, it was Talladega. What a finish. As always, the Venom Truck Series always knows how to throw down here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's Talladega. I mean, there's nothing more really to say about it. We had some strategy happening. It never really came to fruition. As far as pit strategy and those types of things go, had some cautions and then had some great pushes, some 3-wide action. It's everything you want from a Talladega race. And John K. finally gets a super speedway points-paying win. That's a big capper for him here tonight. Also, by the way, in case anybody was wondering, 10 minutes, 26 seconds. Certainly not the longest.
That's not even the top 5.
No, not the longest whatsoever. I don't know. Yeah, it's close to the top 5, but I don't think it's there. So I think like 14 or 15 minutes is our longest one. So anyways, shout out to everybody that was in the chat here. Thanks to Chad Stearns for hopping in here at the end, as well as Cole Maxwell, Lisa Kelly, who Tyler mentioned, cheering him on. Oh, Lindsay G's here at the end as well. So shout out to Lindsay for being here in the chat too. Allie Hill, happy birthday as of yesterday. And Amy Phillips was cheering on Paul Ellison. Ty Coleman cheering on Austin Holyfield. Just didn't quite come around for the number 10. But boy, he was up front there pretty much all night. So it's a good run for the 10 nonetheless. There's Tyler Logan, who unfortunately slept through the start of this race. Be looking forward to having you back out there. Karen for cheering on Jeremy. Let's see, James Coleman, Bailey Matacek, Rob Williams. Robin Matacek was here as well. A lot of our usuals in the chat here, but a couple of new folks as well. It's always fun to see some new folks in the chat. Before I finish my little doodad here, I'm just going to say SMYB. If you know, you know, from Talladega. Tommy, let's keep it rolling.
Well, we've got 5 drivers now that are locked in to the chase officially. Of course, Matt Schlosser was already locked in. Chad Stearns, John K., Hayden Palumbo, and Luke Peterson, by our count, are officially through to the postseason. Zach Lockett is within a few points, but not quite. Joshua Matacek right now in 7th. Andy Poliski has dropped a position to 8th. Josh Freed, by not being here tonight, lost 3 spots from 6th down to 9th. Now he is only 13, actually make that 33 points to the good. Brody Gunter now in 10th, but he has a 20-point buffer back to Brantley Gainey. So Gunter looks okay as long as he makes the grid next week and doesn't finish dead last in a full field. Gunter might have it on lock. Brantley Gainey, Tyler Logan, Jeremy McKinnon, Kyle Zittel, and Jan Van Leer still have a path forward, but it is a difficult one for all 5 of them. From Austin Holyfield and 16th down are mathematically eliminated. So, Gainey, Logan, McKinnon, Zittel, and Van Leer all on the outside looking in. McKinnon's had a great season. He just hasn't made all the races. Tyler Logan likewise there in 12th. Brantley Gainey has had very good hot streaks, but a couple of cold streaks as well. He gained some points to the cut line here tonight, but still has a pretty big hole to dig out of. So that is the chase picture headed into a double-length race next week at Rockingham. 250 laps. That is an enormous amount of lappage out on the track. We ran 197 in Truck 200, which is like the Endurance League on the channel. And we're doing 53 more than that for the Venom Truck Series. Massive stuff. Yeah, buckle up and settle in with some kind of a feast. But don't be drinking too many depressants. Get some caffeine going. We need you to stay up with us. So that'll be next Tuesday night. We've got some stuff between now and then, however. Tomorrow night, it is the return of the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Auto Sports. It'll be at Long Beach. It's only GT3s this season, but we have a Pro and an AM division, the purple and silver divisions on display tomorrow night. It'll be a big field at Long Beach, a track that does not handle a big field very well. So that's going to be very interesting. 8:15 p.m. Eastern time for that one. It'll be myself and James Watson on the call all season long, except for a couple of Wednesdays where Matt will jump in there for me. But that is what we've got on tap for you tomorrow night. Thursday night, I'm finally back in the rotation after 2 weeks off that were not quite planned. It'll be myself and Joshua Matichek calling the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series wherever they are, because I don't actually remember where they are next week, or this Thursday, rather. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be a surprise for both of us to see where we end up. But it's always great Max V trucking on Thursday night. And that will lead us into next Tuesday night. It will be the Venom Truck Series Endurance Race, the regular season finale from Rockingham Speedway at 8:15 p.m. Eastern time for that one. Be sure to catch us then. We'll have all the down low for you on everything that you need to know for a long race and for a long season finale, regular season finale, that is. That's all we got for you here tonight. Thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us. Thank you to the drivers of the Venom Truck Series. Thanks to Kyle Zittel and everybody with the Venom Truck Series admin team and league council. And thanks to the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, for calling yet another finish here on the channel of late. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to John K., winner of the Golden Eagle Syrup 200 at Talladega.
This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.